let's see what's going on here. You're gonna turn around and... Oh, there it is. Okay. So it did pop up. Alright. It took about 2 minutes. I got to mute. Or else we're gonna get feedback. A feedback loop. And that sucks. Okay. Move a few things here out the way. What do we got here? Most of that I don't need. A little bit. This is a parts box. I'm debating about this. Not sure if I'm gonna install this servo saver or not. I may leave the stock system. It seems to work pretty good. I've got my other one strapped down decently. I am gonna thicken up the oil. It's got 500,000 diff fluid in it. I've got some million. I'm gonna put mostly, about 500,000 and half 500,000, kind of thin it out, that million down just a little bit. Refill that. I should be able to hopefully undo it and get it working. So so I may send this back. Something else I also bought, and I'm not sure I'm going to use, because looking at it, there's different stuff, is the 1UP Racing titanium dress-up kit. Nice kit, pricey, but this is all the M3 stuff. Okay, I get it. But most of these boats are bigger than M3. I thought it was most of the bigger stuff, but this is mostly just for all your plastics. Man, I think I may send that back. Send those two things back, unopened. Don't know yet, but I'm a-thinking. So there's not much left to really do here. But first order of business is the shock. So this is the one off the Mako, which I've redone. This is the one off the Pro Circuit, the green bike. I'll be back in a second. should grab paper towels. Okay. So let's see. Let me get that open there. Okay. Got 45 weight in its stock. I'm probably going to put a little bit in there. It's only 3K. It's 50. What is this? Okay, there's 500,000. Is this the million or the 2 million? I suppose I should put my eyes on 1 million. Got some 20 million. I think that's a little excessive. 200,000. That's pretty small. What do we got here? 2.5 million. 1,500,000. I just want to thicken it up a little bit. And I'll take some. If I need to add a little bit, I'll add some 50 weight into the shock. Keep it on the stiffer side. No, actually, I should be able to. Oh, no, I'm going to have. Oh, I guess, yeah, okay. So let me see my couple pieces here that I'm going to need. I might be able to swap this out without having too much issue. Bit. No, take it up. Take this pressure off it. Take the cap off the bottom. That's got to come right up. think these got white, if I'm not mistaken. No, I don't think. Seems to work. That one does actually. The one plastic tool. I don't think this thing opened up enough. I remember JB saying yesterday when I started recording, my sound was going in and out. And I got checking things out. I haven't even actually went back and watched the video. I should. But sometimes I'm talking real quiet because I'm kind of muttering to myself there a little bit. Thinking out loud, if you will. So, is that the one? I think that's, no. It's gotta be that. Yep, there we go. That's how they did it. This ready. Now I should grab that other cap and take that screw and O-ring out of it. And that's going to be in here. Bag, but perhaps not. Yeah. Didn't put it over here, perhaps. Well, what in the wide world sport did I do it? Gotta be all these boxes. They're D. Wait, no, that's the new metal one. The other new metal one. probably. Was in the bottom of the box. Alright. Didn't have a little washer on this one. Probably because it's plastic. Alright. All that for nothing, just to waste some time, I guess. I did end up doing some other work last night after I shut the video off. Couldn't sleep, got back at it a little bit. Installed the skid plates. Got the rest of the bike put back together except for the rear shock, which is what I'm doing now. So I got all the skids on. I gotta refinish this yet. Of course, I'll do that when I finish up the rear shock. I got pretty much, as you see, the forks done. I still have to glue my tires, both front and rear. So that is one thing that does need to get done. But I'll probably end up taking them to work and do that at work for shits and giggles when it's slow, although I don't think that'll be slow this week, so probably end up doing it at work or after work. Okay, so let's see. These are for the bolt at the top. There, it's there. Do I want the hard spring? I think a medium. Yeah, I want the hard spring back in it. They come with the hard spring installed. So I'll leave the stock hard spring. Okay. Now if I'm going to turn around and limit this shock, tight. Let's see, where is my, oh, I probably got rid of that old box that was falling apart. Okay. Oh, wait, I wonder if that one, I think this is going to be too big. It's going to be too big. We'll see. That'll work. Sweet. I didn't think it would. I thought it would be a little too small. Okay. So I guess the big question, I'll put a little bit in. There's a couple drops just to sure it's full. Mess up. I want to break my stick. No. Shoot. Yeah, it's got to come off the bottom anyways. Okay. No biggie. Oh, that's right. It doesn't. Don't have an adjuster ring. Okay. Good enough. Yeah. Oh, and no oil. A little lower than I thought. Fill her up. Make sure she's no air. That should work. Forward, I guess. Still no oil coming out of this sucker. A little. Put it up. Rebound, tighten her up. I'm getting just a little bit squishing out. And pretty much throw it right to the top. Bumper. I do have a GPM shock end at 70-75, but I've not had a problem or seen a problem with them yet. So I don't see a need to replace it. Like, who's gonna notice the aluminum shock end? I'm not. Okay. Keep forgetting I got that little shock stand. Thank you, Harley Designs, Josh. He made that little thing up for a 3D or an S, what do you call it, STL Sunday, where he went, got the hiccups. He went through and designed a bunch of stuff. Washing machine, skee ball machine, I mean, just a whole bunch of crap that he's... One of the things he designed, I downloaded that, and I printed it out, and it works great. Nice little shock system. Got a replaceable end down there, so you can see the bottom smaller shocks, and then the top one, you just undo the 2 screws at the end and slip it off, and slip that one in, and simple shock stand works fine. Now. Do one thing first before we go any farther. I'm not going to be able to take that off that way, or I guess I got to pop that up. What I got to do, I guess those got to come out. Those two is probably one up there somewhere that I can't get to. I want to take the seat thing off. Shemazel right there. I think I can get that. Not gonna need a seat peg for what I'm gonna be doing. So let's see my long ass screw. Let's see my to access the top screw for the shock mount, you go through this hole right there. Your two little pieces for your top shock. There's a bushing and a insert that slides into that. It's your little shock piece. How did I do this? Let me take a peek here. I got it in there before. Got it out that way, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'll have to. I did have that off. Ooh. That would have to come off. Let me see. If I undo that, does that allow me to take it off? I think it will. Holy cow. Tighten that sucker up. Nope, that's not the one. Move some stuff, make a little room. I'm gonna take that out. Good enough. Gotta remove the knuckle pivot. I'm gonna need a little more Loctite on that when it goes back in. Trying to line it up here, almost had it, but then I pulled it out. Okay. Okay, so your knuckle goes together like this, and then your pin goes in. So as your knuckle sitting there, your shock mounts here. That goes up in the swing arm. That goes in the, that goes on the skid plate. So that goes in there, and then your bolt through there to lock your knuckle on. And I'm keeping with the black stock plastic swing arm because I have seen more than a couple. Oh, did I put that in there backwards? I think I did. No, that's right. That's right. Okay. So, put your shock on, put your mount on. I did too. Yes, I did. Put it in backwards. Slippery dog. Well. But I'm about to. I was about to. About to put it on backwards there. Okay. Go there. With some titanium. Those things around. Surprised I didn't knock that off in the trash can. Captures the pin. Other titanium pin. I'll wipe off the excess before I tighten her up all the way. I'll use a Kleenex now. This on it, I got it. So yeah, last night, as I was saying a little bit earlier, I installed the skid in the front piece here. Got those in place. They're a little tough. I probably should have I had to do a little pushing and conniving. Probably should have took a file to the edge of the carbon fiber plates on the back corners here. Especially, I think it was this side. It might have been this side. I don't quite remember. One of these back corners was pretty hard to get the screw in. Cause it wasn't quite lining up. Like I said, I should have taken and just filed a smidge off that carbon fiber plate there. I think with the trio, the tolerance is a little too snug. I got it, but it took a little extra pushing and finagling to get that sucker to go. Okay. Ooh, that sucker is stiff. But that should be good. And still loose at full compression. Wouldn't mind getting it to squat some more. I wonder what I can do to preload that without, yeah, probably nothing. Alright, so rear shock done, and rear swing arm assembly all finished. before I jump into this next pain in the arse. That being the triple tree, because it's got 500,000, not 5,000, 500,000 weight differential oil in the crown of the triple tree, the gooseneck here, that provides dampening for the steering so it's not floppy like a fish out of water. There wasn't something in there. A lot of bikes, like my Duratrax and a bunch of these others, the Venom and the Anderson and all that, what they use is they've got a small, the steering servo, and it goes to a push rod that's kind of a spring steel, nicely bent, but that adds that little bit of stuff, and a lot of people will mount a shock on the other side to really provide dampening, because the spring steel works, and a lot of times if they go to the shock, they just go to a straight push rod. That's a little better, you know, functioning to turn without moving, and they just let the shock with a bunch of heavy, you know, diff oil or shock oil in it provide the dampening of the steering. I like what LOSI did. This works, in my opinion, a lot better. Nowhere near as floppy as the coming out of corners in a slow turn. Accident starts moving, your front end can get floppy. This really dampens that down a lot on your slower cornering. Now, it could be a little hard to get over sometimes if you're not used to it, so it's a little bit of the learning curve in driving. The other night, I went out and met some of the other local guys to do some dragging, and realized that the two drag cars that I wanted to run aren't quite ready, and the one that I didn't want to run was, and I didn't. But I did take the bike with me, and I got a little run time on that, and let, you know, 4 of the 5 guys there took a spin. They all love it. I suspect they all, you know, a couple of them said they're looking already, trying to work the deals. So I suspect we'll have a few other Promoto people here shortly, be able to do some racing. Now, do I want to move that? I don't think I do. I'm not going to replace the servo right now. I'm going to go ahead and leave the stock steering servo in. I will grab the clip, put the clip on, and then wrap it up with a zip strip. I believe I got one zip strip laying around here somewhere. And I'm going to potentially redo the handlebars. I'm going to paint them all up, make them look good. But I'm probably going to mount them differently than they are mounted right now, so they actually function with the triple tree. That's one of the scale details that's missing, is, and that same thing on the Duratrax, the handlebars don't turn with the wheel, because the riders aren't totally articulating. They're kind of stiff. They'll move, but they're not articulating, so to speak. Here, let me grab, what did I do with him? There he is. So you see the top. Whoopsie. Move you over here for a minute. Get over there and stay up. So the elbows move, but the shoulders move. The arm, you know, pivots forward and backwards, but the elbows don't move. The wrists, you know, a little bit. So you get a little up and down, but no real articulation. And that's one of the drags. However, if you're like me and you're thinking ahead a little bit, we'll see here how this works out. Pull his britches up, because they've been falling down on him a little bit. Now, this is not the rider for this bike. However, what it is, is a Ricky Carmichael bike or rider. Yeah, I guess he's not as articulating as I thought he was either. His legs do articulate a lot better, but he's not quite as articulating in the legs or in the arms as I thought he was. But oh yeah, here's a good one. This is the difference. I'm thinking about putting him on taking him apart and putting a bearing piece on him because his waist swivels. So that could work with a little bit of up and down and a smooth swivel where he's really smooth, the swivel there. I think I can get him arms on here, and then as the steering wheel turns, he'll turn a little bit and won't be much. It'll just be about that much because it don't move much. But I think that would work. Now again, that's not the rider for this bike, but I have something similar. That'll be the last little part of this project. I gotta get a couple things for it. So let's go ahead and pop this off here. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. Suppose I can go ahead and put that back in. She's a tighty. Let's get her in there. She's tight there in that carbon fiber. Too tight. If you happen to watch this, dude from Extreme Carbon, open that hole up a little bit. Not much, just a little bit, because that's a little too tight. So I'm gonna have to put a little wheel to it, just a light one. I guess you are the victim. I'm looking at it. Something hit my leg. Let's see what I got in here. A little more suited for that. There it is. That's the one I was looking for. check the other side first before I go too far. That one. No, butts into that side, so it's just this side. Alright. Oh, that's the one. Spare one. That's alright. It's working. Alright, so this hole that the pin slides through is really tight, so I gotta do just a little bit of grinding. I'm actually gonna do it over top of my garbage can here. Let most of that dust go down. Should be wearing a mask because it is carbon fiber, but it's just gonna be a couple little swipes. That's what they always say. And that's all it was. Just a slight little cleanup, goes in there nice and tight. Trying to reroute the programming wire a little bit. Make it a little bit easier to get to. Okay. That's where I put them. Got that tight. Not too bad. I want to keep going. So close. The question is, take that off. Here, just a solid tube. top view. How do I do that? I want to change which is my view. So bear with me a second here. Oh, it's real dark. Oh, it's real dark. Okay, that's how you do it. Alright, back a little bit. Basically, I'm just gotta hold the bottom of the triple tree. Taking this post nut out. Now, go ahead and get this open. There. Hold the post at the center. Back in here so I'm not losing shit everywhere and getting fluid on everything. Get in there. Well, alrighty then. Let's get one there. ready to go. Okay, now, piece of tape. See if I can do this without having to stuff too much more oil back in there. We'll see. Probably won't work, but we'll try. There. You first bought and you only got one. Now you get 6, 5 maybe. And put some 500,000 back in there. Some thick, gooey stuff. Let her set. It's just so thick. Quite seem right, but I guess we'll see. Be something in there to go into that slot. Oh. Missing a part. Huh, I may have to lose that fucking thing. That don't make too much sense, you know? No shit. Okay, well, I guess if you're using the triple tree, you have to buy the trio servo saver. If for any other reason, because they don't, this should be sent with the triple tree, not the servo saver. If you're listening, trio, because this is part of the triple tree and not the servo saver. piece here. Oh, I see. You could use the stock. Guess I could have left that and not opened it. But it should come with the triple tree. That's what I want to pick up. Okay. So I guess I didn't have to open up the servo saver. I could have used the stock part out that triple tree. However, for the Vitabon folks, that is not part of the servo saver. That should be part of the triple tree. Okay. There, that goes there, that goes there. Definitely don't want to over. Well, I guess that ain't bad. Yep, tighten her up. That'll hold well. Now, that wasn't too hard, really. At the end of the day, works pretty easy. way on the servo saver. So I don't think I'm going to need her for this one. Okay. Sure they're all good and tight. Locked in right. Okay. Pop these puckers out easy. Now if you're going to run this, pop this off. It's just a little rubber piece that inserts on the inside, little nub. Run shoe glue around that, or E6000 around you, and slip it back in, and then put a little bit back in here because this thing pops off easy. It's up here. Get a little tight. And also when you Loctite anything, ensure the Loctite does not get on your plastic. Because if you Loctite your plastic, you're gonna mess things up. That Loctite will soften up and dissolve your plastic. FYI. It probably doesn't mess that up because that was probably plastic and not metal. Although it looks like metal. But it's probably not. It's probably plastic, so I just probably screwed up my threads, but it's alright. They get soft. Clean them out a little bit. Squirt in some super glue. Thread her in. Leave her set. And an hour later, after everything's nice and dry, you can just unthread it. It'll come right up. But the super glue will stay in, leaving threads. Easy fix. Easy peasy. Okay. Go ahead and I guess put the steering wheel back on. Handlebars, steering wheel. Okay. Now, done with these. Reseal in the bag. Put a little cut in it, melt the end, push it together. Sealed. Those can go in there. Go in there. Titanium axles are in. Okay. Guess it's time for another smoke. Let's see what's happening here. It's 11:30, so that ain't too bad. I want to be done by midnight. I know JB is going to pop on anytime. Sometimes he does a Sunday night. Don't look like it. I guess I should. Oh yeah, I got it there. That's right. I got her there. That's kind of nice that this program I'm using, it's only a single cast. I might be able to add people into it. I'll double check. I gotta look through the stuff. I guess I'm gonna look at maybe upgrading. That's one thing I could have done is put the other pistons, but I didn't want to piss with all that. So they can go in here. I think stock oil, and for now the stock piston will be fine. Okay, guess this stuff can go in a bag. These are all screws except for that. I ain't gonna put those on yet, but I will put them back in my box for this stuff. Well, I guess it's gonna be a small box now. I'm gonna put them in there with that stuff. That. One shock to rebuild. Let me see. Tools there. Big tools. Need a brake line. And I need to find a real small Allen. Let's see if that's going to flip over or not. It's not even long enough though. Because that's going to have to be from all the way. So I can forget that. I bought one, but it wasn't big enough. Antenna tube to go over your brake line, which will help stiffen the brake line and make your cable and brake system work better. More tension, more strength, more power transmitted down to the lever, because your cable sheath ain't flexing around on you and wanting to bend. I've seen one or two people have a rip already. Now, the last part here, you just kind of seen, is the plastics. Now, I do have yellow plastics for a different sticker different sticker sheet, but that won't be for this bike, at least maybe not right away. I'm gonna look at getting another bike. I see one or two for sale. It's a good price. Just gotta drive over this other side of the state maybe to pick it up. We'll see. Be a 2-hour and 20-minute drive over, and at least 2 hours, and then 2 hours back. I could be met halfway for 50 bucks. It's like, dude, for 50 bucks I can drive there and back. So I guess you don't want to go anywhere. But we'll see. I am debating it. It's a blue one. I've got the red one. I bought the green one. That would be the set. And then there'd be one for me, the old lady, and the kid. Once I get them all back in the dirt after this winter. For now, this is going to be a street bike for the spring. And I'm not using these graphics, although it does look pretty good. The black graphics don't look bad. Spares. Alright. I I still may do the titanium just because it's a stupid buy, but especially for the cost of those damn things, $84, $83.99. I think they are pretty stupid pricing. Okay. Put some plastics back on, and then I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for the graphics package I am gonna use. Good place for it. Good place for you too, I guess. I know where you're at. The Reese tips are not magnetic. What did I do with that little screw? I put it down somewhere over here, I think. If not, I got another one. That one's going in the middle because of the brake servo mount. So you don't need to go crazy with it. Okay. Slip on your fork guards. You got a little slot to slide them on. Make sure you get them in there. Okay. That's it. Shove that down inside. There we go. The bike, in essence, is good to go, except for one more thing now. Oh, I gotta take that one back off. Hopefully with this brake, I might be able to do stoppies. We'll see. Okay, that's that. Right. Okay, let me see. A bag. Put the right lock nut back on. Okay. Chain is already adjusted. Although it might need to, considering it's new and never been ran, that chain's pretty stretched out already. I got a little bit of adjustment left. I do have a new chain, BXO Turbo. They had a magnesium chain. Price was pretty decent compared to everybody else's magnesium chain, so I went ahead and grabbed it. Pretty sure there's only one or two manufacturers making those. And then the last thing I got to do, decide if I'm going to use those titanium bolts. But from there, the last thing is take out all these screws around the wheel. All these little things down here holding the carbon fiber in. And I got scale bolts for that. Nice. Now, if that's all done, just a little bit of grinding on that carbon fiber. just to fit everything great. Like I say, I'll probably, the bottom skid plate was very snug to get in. This one here, this skid plate, especially these two back bolts right here, on not on the plastic but on the unit itself. They're real tough to get going. Once I got them, it wasn't bad. But I think that carbon fiber with the trio skid, just the tolerance is a little tight. So I'll probably take and just slightly take just a little off the top of that, or I should say the bottom of the carbon fiber, when I take it apart at some point and go from there. That looks great with that muffler on there, don't it? Looks alright. I like that. Looks pretty good. Nice and dark. Blacked out. She's a midnight runner. But that's not what she is. No, it's not Dixie's Midnight Runners. That's not the theme, for crying out loud. Now, I wonder, get those out right now. They are up in there a ways. Probably should have done it when I had the wheel off. I want to peel this rider post off, because I won't be using the traditional rider, and that post will not be usable with the rider I'm going to use. Can I do... I don't even think I'm going to be able to get in there with that, although I know people have just basically ripped it off. I don't want to do that. Sounds like the screws are pretty weak and not aggressive enough for the plastic to hold it really well. Let me take a peek. Alright, just gets into there. Lose control of it. Doesn't help, I got a little bit of that silicone on my fingers, and that makes shit slippery, especially smooth ass metal. Can I maybe get that to work? I don't think so. Oh, not gonna work. Looks like that's all it's holding it on though. I'll have to take that out later. Got 3 screws holding that thing on. And they need to go. So alright. Thanks for hanging out. As boring as this can be some days, I don't say much, don't talk a bunch. Well, that's a lie, I do. Talk a hell of a lot. Just usually when I'm live streaming, unless I got people in the chat, I'm usually pretty focused on getting the work done. But yes, she does look pretty damn good. Now, glue tires on. Guess one thing I could do here. Let's kind of detail what I did, because I really didn't do that. So maybe I'll clip this and make this a small little standalone video. However, we started with a LOSI Promoto Pro Circuit, the green bike. Brand new, never been ran. And obviously you see some upgrades on it. Let me do this. There we go. That works a little better. At least for seeing this. That ain't too bad. Alright, so obviously mostly Trio on the upgrades. There are some other things. But we got the Trio wheels, Vitavon street tires. Yeah, that is a Trio, I believe, yep. Trio sprocket. Trio hubs. Got black hubs. The Trio brake caliper, fake brake caliper in the back. Trio foot pegs. Trio gear covers. Trio brake mount. GPM servo arm for the brake. The GPM has a 25 tooth. I got a gold. So the GPM servo mount. Of course, Trio front wheel rim and hubs. Trio caliper. Trio lugs. And then I have also the fork lugs from LOSI, the titanium fork lugs in there. They're in there. Trio titanium front caliper. Disc. Let's see. Aluminum caps on the shock. Extreme Racing. Yep, Extreme Racing's carbon fiber chassis plates. The Trio aluminum flywheel housing in gold. And when I put that together, I put a little bit of E6000 around the two halves so they would hopefully tighten up nicely and be watertight. And when I mounted the stator, I put a little E6000 around the stator piece as well as the wiring. I'm trying to keep it waterproof. Trio skid plate. Obviously, it's got the stock radiator piece. Trio triple tree. Black plastics from LOSI, obviously. LOSI titanium knuckle pins. LOSI titanium. Got that titanium axles. And hot racing muffler exhaust. In the extreme racing carbon fiber plate, I have GPM bearing inserts. GPM has aluminum bearing inserts inside. There's plastic pieces. They'll probably wear out over time. So the aluminum bearing inserts holding your gears and everything, your swing arm on each side, and then your spur gear is in there. I didn't make any changes to the spur gear, tighten it up, loosen it up or anything. That's all the same. And I think that is all for right now. Not like that's all. So I want to double check my weight here. It's about 8 pound stock. So right now it's sitting in grams. And I don't know if I can take it, but it should. Roughly, if I can hold it still for a minute. 330, 340 grams, somewhere in there. Let's go to pounds. No battery in here. Interesting. No rider on it. 7.39, 7.4, 7.36, 7.39 pounds. About 115, 170, 118 ounces. And 3.2, 3.3, 3.33 kilograms. So actually not that much different than stock. I wonder what the rider would add. So let's do this. 58 grams on the stand. That's better. 3,354 grams. 7.394 pounds. 118.34 ounces. 3.355 kilograms. 33.55 grams. .13, so he's 500 grams. He's a heavy little ass. He's a fat ass. A rider's a fat ass. 459 grams. Rider's a fat ass. .012 pounds, 16.16 ounces, and 0.459 kilograms. Rider's a fat ass. Now, being black and gold, you might get an idea where I'm going with this, and actually I'll be removing the fender and either redoing it or putting a different one on. I'd like to put a different one on. It'll be red. And then other than that, go to the tires. Get graphics. Red fender, or paint that one red. Maybe I'll just paint it really nice. Get some nice Krylon plastic paint. That'll probably work pretty easy and stick well and not crack too bad. Although if I probably won't add too much weight going to the scale bolts, because these are stainless bolts and the other ones will be a little bit heavier than the non-stainless and just the black iron oxides. So hopefully that works out pretty good. Alright, this guy can go down here. Back. Half a bike. And then there's a whole nother box of stuff you can see in here. It's for the Mako. But that excuse me. That I'm making small changes on, and then driving it for a little bit to see how handling is affected. I haven't had too much time to drive it since I added the last couple little things, which wasn't much. New muffler, and it held up pretty damn good for as much as it bounced. But new muffler and a few other pieces, parts. Next thing I'll do, oh yeah, the GPM fork tubes, 7075 fork tubes. Alright. Alright, looks pretty good. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out. Hit that like button, slam that subscribe. Help me grow the channel. Trying to get some more people in here. Thanks for the couple people I got watching. Appreciate you hanging out with me. It's what, 12:22? Time for me to go to bed. 7 o'clock comes early. And I got a fairly busy day at work. That's okay. Want to say hi? Come here and say hi. Come here. Come here, fat kitty. You can tell everybody hello. Tell them a hi. Say, hi, world. Hi, world. Yeah, you don't care much about it, do you? Alright, folks. Thanks for hanging. We'll talk to you later. Everybody have a good night, good week. Keep your head down, your eyes open. Shit's gonna get froggy